the Kenyan story of power, love, betrayal, and murder. Abigail was born in 1975 to a middle-class Kenyan family in Nairobi. From a young age, she displayed a keen intellect and a drive for success. Her parents, both educators, instilled in her a love for learning and a strong work ethic. Abigail excelled in school, particularly in mathematics and economics, earning a full scholarship to the University of Nairobi. John, born in 1970, hailed from a prominent Luo family in Kisumu. His family's wealth, accumulated through generations of savvy investments and political connections, afforded him a life of privilege. Despite this, John was determined to make his own mark on the world. He attended the London School of Economics, where he honed his natural talent for strategy and networking. Their paths crossed in the summer of 1997 at a business conference in Nairobi. Abigail, fresh out of university and working as a junior analyst at a prestigious firm, was immediately drawn to John's confidence and charm. John, in turn, was captivated by Abigail's sharp wit and ambition. Their whirlwind romance began with a late-night discussion about market trends and ended with a sunrise walk along Uhuru Park. Within a year, they were engaged, and their wedding in the fall of 1998 was the social event of the season. The union seemed perfect. John's business acumen, combined with Abigail's financial expertise, made them a formidable power couple. They settled in Karen, Nairobi, where John started his consulting firm, with Abigail by his side as CFO. The early years of their marriage were filled with success and happiness. The company grew rapidly, attracting high-profile clients and establishing a reputation for innovative solutions. Abigail and John worked seamlessly together, their complementary skills driving the company to new heights. They became fixtures in Nairobi's social scene, hosting lavish parties and generously supporting local charities. To the outside world, the Johns appeared to have it all: a thriving business, a beautiful home, and a strong, loving partnership. Friends and acquaintances often remarked on their apparent devotion to each other, citing the longing looks and gentle touches they shared even after years of marriage. Little did anyone suspect that beneath this veneer of marital bliss, the seeds of betrayal had already been planted, waiting for the right moment to sprout and ultimately destroy everything they had built together. As the years passed, the demands of their rapidly expanding business began to take a toll on their relationship. John, consumed by his work, started spending long hours at the office, while Abigail's responsibilities as CFO became increasingly taxing. Their once regular conversations dwindled to quick exchanges about financial reports or business strategies. The spark between them, once so bright, began to fade. By 2004, cracks in their seemingly perfect marriage had become chasms. Abigail sought solace in the arms of David, a younger consultant with a sharp mind and a listening ear. Meanwhile, John, swept up in his own ambitions, embarked on an affair with Alice, a glamorous socialite who frequented the circles of Nairobi's elite. Julius, a cunning and ruthless entrepreneur, had long eyed the Johns' company as a stepping stone to dominate Nairobi's business landscape. Born into a modest family, Julius had clawed his way to the top through sheer determination, calculated risks, and a willingness to exploit weaknesses in his competitors. By 2005, Julius had begun circling the Johns' empire like a shark, sensing blood in the water. He used his extensive network of informants to gather intel on their company and personal lives. Through whispered conversations and veiled threats, he spread rumors about the Johns' growing discord, shaking the confidence of their clients and investors. Julius's charm belied his predatory nature. Behind his easy smile and polished demeanor was a man who thrived on others' vulnerabilities. He viewed the Johns' marital strife as the perfect opportunity to destabilize their business. Julius strategically aligned himself with Alice, using her connections to gain insight into John's weaknesses. At the same time, He secretly orchestrated leaks that hinted at Abigail's affair with David, further sowing discord within their company. By the time the truth of their affairs surfaced in 2006, Julius was already positioning himself as the savior their disillusioned board members and nervous investors needed. He played the part of a concerned competitor, offering to help stabilize the John's crumbling empire. In reality, he was systematically dismantling their company from within, poaching key clients and staff while tarnishing their reputation in the business community. In late 2006, as the Johns' personal and professional lives unraveled, their rivalry with Julius reached a boiling point. John, already paranoid from the fallout of his affair, became convinced that Julius was the mastermind behind their troubles. He began lashing out in meetings, accusing colleagues of collusion, and making reckless decisions that further eroded the company's stability. Meanwhile, Abigail, overwhelmed by guilt and stress, struggled to maintain control of their business. Her relationship with David had turned toxic, and anonymous threats warned her to sever ties with him. One night, after a heated confrontation with John, the tension reached its tragic climax. The once powerful couple, now consumed by anger, betrayal, and mistrust, found themselves locked in a heated argument in their Karen home. John had uncovered more damning evidence of Abigail's affair with David, an intimate photograph tucked away in her laptop's hidden folder. Fueled by rage and heartbreak, he waited for Abigail to return home that evening, determined to confront her one last time. As she entered the living room, the sight of him sitting in the dark sent a chill down her spine. His eyes burned with anger, and his voice, when he spoke, was low and menacing. "You've destroyed everything, Abigail," he said, his voice trembling with fury. "Our marriage, our business, our legacy, all for him." Abigail, though shaken, tried to defend herself. "Don't you dare blame me, John. You think I didn't know about Alice, about the lies and the manipulation. This isn't just on me, it's on both of us." The argument escalated quickly, voices rising to a fever pitch as years of resentment and betrayal spilled out. John, in a moment of blind rage, grabbed a glass decanter from the coffee table and hurled it across the room, narrowly missing Abigail. "You've turned me into a fool, Abigail," he snarled, "and you think you can walk away from this unscathed." Fearing for her safety, Abigail backed away, but John advanced, his rage consuming him. She stumbled into her home office, where her desk offered a semblance of protection. Her hands searched desperately for something to defend herself with, and found the heavy glass paperweight she used as a decorative piece. "Don't come any closer, John," she warned, her voice trembling. But he ignored her plea, lunging toward her in a fit of rage. In the heat of the moment, Abigail swung the paperweight with all her strength. It struck John on the side of his head with a sickening thud. He staggered back, blood trickling down his temple, his eyes wide with shock. "Abigail, what have you done?" he whispered, his voice barely audible as he collapsed to the floor. But it wasn't over. As he lay there, dazed and semi-conscious, Abigail's panic turned into a grim realization. If he survived, he would never stop coming for her, personally, professionally, and legally. In that moment, driven by fear and desperation, she picked up a sharp letter opener from her desk. "Forgive me," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. Then, with trembling hands, she plunged the blade into his chest. John gasped, his body convulsing before going still. The silence that followed was deafening, broken only by Abigail's sobs as she sank to the floor, staring at what she had done. The confrontation ended not just their marriage, but their lives as they had known them. It marked the beginning of Abigail's descent into a nightmare that would ultimately see her face justice for the choices she made in that moment of desperation. When the dust settled in 2007, Julius emerged victorious. With the Johns' company in shambles and their personal lives exposed in court, he acquired what remained of their business at a fraction of its worth. To the public, he presented himself as the hero who had saved jobs and revitalized the industry. Behind closed doors, he reveled in his triumph, knowing he had orchestrated the downfall of one of Nairobi's most powerful couples. Abigail, convicted of manslaughter, spent the next 25 years in prison, reflecting on the choices that had led her there. John's legacy was reduced to whispers of ambition and betrayal, and Alice disappeared from the social scene, her role in the drama a source of endless speculation. Julius, now a titan of industry, continued to build his empire, but those who knew his methods whispered that his success came at a cost, a trail of broken lives and shattered dreams in his wake.